Hi everyone, welcome back to another video and another Viva Las Vegas Stamps design team project. Today I'm going to show you what the steps of what I did for the cotton crystals technique. I'm going to show you what I used and I'm going to tell you what you really need. There are a couple things that I used because I didn't find the one thing that I need for it. And then the other one is I didn't have it, so I used something else. So what you need is transparency film or sheets. If you want to emboss, stamp and emboss, you'll need a heat resistant one. I had gotten these at American Science and Surplus many years ago. And they were sitting in a drawer, and once I learned about this technique, I decided to take these out of the drawer and use them. For stamping, I used the VersaFine black ink pad, but what you really need is a Stays On ink pad. And I don't have one, so I just used what I had. And then you also need embossing powder. I use the Ultra High Gloss Clear embossing powder. Sorry about the lighting. I opened the window so you can be a little brighter in here. This is from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. You'll need sprays. I used a Starburst stain from Lindy's Stamp Gang, and I also used a couple Moon Channel mists from them. This is the Bucket O Blood Red, and what's left of my Golden Doubloons. And Starburst sprays, I used Rudolph's Nose Red, and Screaming Banshee Black, Voodoo Violet Blue, and I think I used Dark Chocolate Truffle also. And then one of them I used this Ink and Dinkadoo spray ink, yellow. You'll need glitter, and I used the glitter by Art Institute, Art Institute glitter. I have these glitters for years. As you see, I hardly use them. And you need tissue or napkin that you just separate the layers, and you'll use both layers. This is 8.5 by 11, the full sheet. When I was playing around with them doing these, I just cut them in half, so I wouldn't have such a big surface to spray and stuff. And then I used the Pledge Floor Care Clean and Shine. What you really need is the Pledge with Future Shine. That's a hard thing to find. I think you could get it at Walmart. I looked at my grocery store, I looked at Target, I looked at Walgreens, I looked at Home Depot. But this worked. Probably not as good as the Pledge with Future Shine. I'll tell you one reason when I get to it. But it does work in a pinch. So what you do is, if you want to see, this is one of the examples. This is the example that I did on the blog post. So what you do is, if you want to stamp first, you take your image that you want to use and ink it with your ink pad and stamp. And then you emboss with the embossing powder, and you heat set it. And I think I said this. If you want to, yeah, I did, but I'll say it again. If you want to emboss, use stays on. But you want to use a heat resistant transparency. As you can see, it did warp a little bit, but not too bad. And like I said, you want to use a stays on ink pad, because as you can see here, it did beat up a little bit. You got little splotches, and that happened here too. But you know, I just cover that up, you know, so it's not too bad. So once you emboss it, let it cool, flip it over. And this one I took various sprays and sprayed them on. I added a little glitter, you know, sprinkled that through. Then I took the Pledge floor care and poured that on carefully because it was a full bottle. And then smear that on. Then I took the 1 ply of the napkins and slapped that on there and patted it, and then let that dry. And then, now, where's the other piece? Oh, here it is. This is the first piece that I did, and it, you know, it was the same size as this. And after I let it dry, I went to trim the excess napkins or tissue off, and it started coming off like this. So that wasn't good. So this was the only little piece I was able to save out of that. So what I did after, you know, these dried, to prevent the napkin or tissue to peel off the transparency, was I took some matte medium and I carefully brushed it onto the napkin or tissue. And you want to do it carefully because the napkins and the tissue are really thin, and you don't want them to tear. So that's about it with that. You can see hopefully you can see the glitter. So that's it. And then for this one, what you do is, for another way you can do it is turn over. You pour the Pledge in Floor Care or the Future Shine, or Pledge with Future Shine over. You pour that on there, and then you put the glitter. You sprinkle some little bit of glitter. A little bit goes a long way. And then you use your spray for your stains. And then you do, you know, put the napkin on and pat it and let it dry. And that'll look like that. And I know it's transparency, so it's kind of hard to see. And this one's my favorite, one of my favorites. And these are the ones that I did. I did a group shot of all the ones that I did. And I didn't do them individually because it would have been a really long blog post. I mean, even longer than it was. But so I said that in the blog that I showed them in the video. So here they are. And hopefully you can see the gold and stuff. And this one, I didn't use the floor care because the last spray I used was this Ink and Dinkadoo spray ink, and I think it has a little bit of alcohol in it because of the smell. But it did a really cool thing when I sprayed it. And I liked that, and I didn't want to take that away when I put the floor care on there. So I just put the napkin on there. You can see it tore a little bit when I went to put the matte medium on there, but still good. And then this one, you see the glitter. And I'll show you the cards again. And for the cards themselves, this one, both of them I used the Black Recollections card bases. And then this one I used 2 pieces of the Graphic 45 Happy Hauntings to layer. And then this piece is from Tattered Times, or Tattered Tight. It's the one from Michaels. The die cuts with the view paper pad from that's available at Michaels. And I stamped the Happy Haunting on there. And I used Sealess Preserves and Ripe Persimmon Distressing, the Fall Distressings. And I attached the papers with Miracle Tape. And this is on foam tape. I love foam tape. So that's that card. And then this one I use a piece from GCD Studios. I forget the name of the pack, but I got it a couple years ago, or last year, from Big Lots. And I trimmed this a bit. And I stamped that on white card stock. And I just left it alone since the background paper is also black and white. And then to cover, I think I used a spider. No, I didn't do it. No, I didn't cut one to cover. It just needed something. And as you can see, maybe I think there's like some embossing powder that didn't get melted. Or when I did, it didn't get melted all the way or something. And then I put this to cover something, covered something that got chipped off from the embossing powder that got chipped off. So those are the cards, and I hope you guys try it. I know there's a video out there using the glossy accents, and that's expensive way to do this technique, because that bottle's like $6 or something, $4 or $5 or $6, and this is like the same price. You can get a lot, even with the Pledge with Future Shine is about $6. You get that much. And I know there's also another YouTube video from the UK doing this technique, using their version of Pledge with Future Shine, but it's called Clear. And then they changed that name to Pledge with Clear. I think that's what it's called, but anyway. Hope you guys try it. It's a fun technique. And thanks for watching. And next week, the 23rd to the 29th, is the Viva Las Vegas Stamps Block Hop. We're a week-long block hop featuring our design team doing different Halloween projects. I'm looking forward to it. I made some really cool things, and I can't wait to show you all next week. So thanks for watching. Bye.